Hello everybody, welcome to the Red Men TV. Liverpool have just been beaten by Arsenal, 2-1. Look, a result that's disappointing ultimately because that game was ours for the taking. I think, you know, if Liverpool had played the way that we know that they can play, the way that they were playing in that first 30 minutes, then Liverpool go on and make light work of Arsenal. What happened though is just a bit of a self-destruction from Liverpool. You know, two players make two mistakes that we're not used to seeing out of them. Arsenal, to their credit, capitalised. They're ruthless. They scored both of their big opportunities, and then he didn't have a shot probably until the 88th minute, maybe a little bit later even by the time their third shot in the game comes along. Liverpool had over 20 shots, clearly didn't do enough to win the game because they didn't stick the ball in the back of the net often enough, but they did create chances. Liverpool didn't have a terrible performance, I don't think. It wasn't one of our absolute best, obviously, because our match sharpness, our finishing at the moment isn't where we want it to be. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the player ratings. Thank you to everybody watching live as well. If you want to drop a like on the video, that does help us, so please do. I'm going to start with Alisson. If you agree or disagree with any of these comments, as always, leave your ratings in the comment section below. Or if you just individually disagree with one or agree with it, say, Alisson, you're wrong. This is what it should have been and why, and I'll get into the comments a little bit later on in the video. So I've got to start with the goalkeeper. Makes a mistake, costs us a goal. Now, I don't actually think it was an atrocious pass, but it certainly wasn't a good pass. It was nowhere near a good pass. It wasn't even an average pass. It was a bad pass. Alisson is going to get a 5 out of 10 for me, and I don't know whether I've actually ever given him such a low rating, to be honest with you. He does nothing in that game other than pick the ball out the back of his net twice, really. And, you know, it didn't let his head drop. He didn't, you know, stop him from playing his natural game. He continued to do that, but he wasn't good enough. And when you're a goalkeeper, you're there to stop goals, not to be the cause of a goal. So 5 out of 10 for Alisson. Over to Andy Robertson. Thought he was one of our better players. First half, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Obviously gets into some great positions, pulls the ball back. Sadio Mane scores, so he gets an assist as well. 8 out of 10 for Andy Robertson there. And I don't think he had too many problems in a defensive sense. His problem came from Alisson trying to pass him the ball, I think, if the truth be told. But as I say, always a willing runner. And when we looked like we were going to score, when it felt like Liverpool would turn that corner or cranking that screw or whatever, it was Andy Robertson, it was Sadio Mane, and it was down that left-hand side, latterly Keita coming into the game as well. Really good performance from him. Virgil Van Dijk, much the same as Alisson Becker, to be honest. I think, you know, all told, 94 minutes, absolutely fine. But a problem, a big problem. A little bit lackadaisical, and you know, it does make me think actually when we first signed him there was these question marks were being asked of Virgil van Dijk. Is he too laid back? Well, I think he categorically proved that the answer to that is no, but in this one moment, in this one game, he was a little bit lax, and as such I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Joe Gomez I thought was really good on the other side. I thought he did brilliantly, stepping out of defence, turning his man, driving forwards in defensive situation, very good covering, winning that ball back when we needed to. So I think probably a 7.5 out of 10 for Joe Gomez. I thought that was one of his strongest performances, to be honest, since restart. Trent Alexander-Arnold on that right-hand side, loads of the ball, loads of crosses, loads of just bombarding forwards. That's not even a word that should be used in that sentence, but that's what he did. And unfortunately, when we get into this final third, not enough of the final ball, not a good enough final ball, unfortunately. So probably a 6.5 out of 10 for Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he kept going, he kept trying to work something. Even at the end, he's taking shots and running to try and take the corners and stuff like that, just quickly. So I loved that endeavour as well. Fabinho, a little bit of a tough one for me to call, actually, Fabinho today. I think, you know, a very middle-of-the-road performance, and as such, I'm going to give him probably a 6 out of 10. I thought, you know, there was times where he was driving back and, you know, he was winning the ball with his telescopic legs, but there was other times where he was just giving the ball away in the middle of the park. Again, very uncharacteristic of Fabinho in his game, his normal game anyway. So, yeah, 6 out of 10 for him. Gini Wijnaldum, moments where he looked involved, but for the large part, again, you know, slightly underwhelming, I would say. So probably a 6 out of 10 for Wijnaldum as well. I say, generally speaking, okay, you know, didn't lose the ball a lot, won the ball back, but you know, he has that one opportunity from a header that he tries to get on the end of a cross, doesn't quite work out. And I think when he was replaced we saw a marked improvement in Liverpool's performance, certainly down that left-hand side. So 6 out of 10 for him. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, probably a 5 out of 10 for Ox today. I think he'll have been really disappointed with his performance, all told. It was a big game for him. He gets that guard of honour at the Emirates, a place where he spent a large portion of his career, and he doesn't go out there and take the opportunity that Jurgen's handed him with both hands today. You know, for me, just started the game brightly. I think first 5-10 minutes, he was looking to get the ball and get on the ball and try and almost play himself into a little bit of form, but that adrenaline, if you want to say that, it kind of just fizzed out, to be honest with you, and just, again, ineffectual is probably the right word for this. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for him. Over on that left-hand side, Sadio Mane, I thought that was one of his better all-round games, more consistently good, a thorn in the side of Arsenal throughout. You know, obviously gets the goal as well. Probably 8.5 out of 10 for Sadio Mane. It was a really good performance by him. And if anyone was going to make something happen for me today, it was going to be Sadio Mane. Over on the right-hand side, then Mo Salah. Game kind of passed him by. You know, he has that one where he pulls the ball back and he shoots, and it's a great save, but it might have been going over anyway. It was a great save from Martinez. He obviously has that header late on where the ball comes over the defender late and he heads it down straight into the goalkeeper. I think probably a 6 out of 10 is probably fair for Salah today. Although he was being double teamed and stuff like that, but that's part of Salah, and I've seen Salah shrug those double teams off plenty of times and get himself a couple of goals. Unfortunately, that wasn't to happen today. Robertson Firmino gets a good 65 minutes, 63 minutes, something like that. And he linked play well. He did what he does, and he nearly scored by closing the goalkeeper down, didn't he, with a no-look karate kick, which if that would have come off, it would have been a clear 10 out of 10 performance, regardless of anything else he does in the game, because nobody's doing that. But it doesn't. And as such, probably a 6 out of 10 for Bobby as well, to be fair. I'll get into the comments after I've done the subs as well. So Nabi Keita comes on in the centre of the park, and I thought he was brilliant again. Picked up where he left off over the last couple of performances. He'll have been gutted that he never got to start this game, of course, but Nabi comes in and just looked brilliant. His touch, he's a dynamic player, and that's what Klopp said about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain going into that game. Well, to me, Nabi Keita looked much more dynamic, and when he came on, he was looking to make things happen. That left-hand side, because he obviously played over on that left-hand side a bit more, was really starting to cause issues for them, but he takes up a bit of it wherever he wants. He goes where there's space, and he tries to find the ball, he tries to beat men, he's looking for quick passes, and even when he's on the edge of the area, and maybe a bit of crunch space because Arsenal are all defending, he's there whipping the ball out to Robertson as fast as he can, trying to make something happen. Like a really good substitute performance from Nabi. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Shaqiri, obviously Minamino actually probably came on first, didn't he, for Roberto Firmino. And again, that first sort of 10-15 minutes of Minamino, brilliant, getting into the pockets of space. Nabi was finding his feet, people were finding his feet, he was winning free kicks, he was dragging David Luiz out of position, and his movement was decent in the box. He was heading towards that front post, waiting for balls from Sadio Mane, but unfortunately nothing really came from it. So maybe a 7 out of 10 for Minamino today. I was quite impressed. I was quite impressed more with his movement and everything else, and his endeavour than anything else. Shaqiri obviously comes on for Mo Salah. Good air. Took a corner. Had a shot and a goal disallowed because of a foul earlier on than that. I don't know, I'm not even sure I could mark him, to be honest, but maybe a 6 out of 10. And Divock Origi, I think, came on for Wijnaldum, although he's probably at that point up front. I'm not saying that was the formation, by the way, I'm just putting him up front so I can talk about him. Divock came on. Didn't really do too much. Can't remember it. If I can't give Shaqiri a mark, I probably can't give Origi a mark either. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Wow, over 1,000 people watching this live. Cams Donovan just says Origi -10. Wow. Looks like there's a lot of bitterness in here. City Fisher, Minamino's way too nice. Is that like playing style, City? Is that what you mean there? Minamino 6, says Ash Aches. Minamino's not working at all, City. Okay, fair enough. We need new signings, says Matt Davies. Need to find new ideas, not good enough. Play the kids, says Tony T. No record anymore, says Ashley Piggott. Poor performance, says Lad Great. Minamino is nowhere near ready to play with this team, Brett Krause. And I don't think he can be ready to play with this team because I don't think he's had enough opportunity to play with this side. And I've said this last week, I think, you know, we judge him like he's been here for 6 months, and he has, but he's not been playing football with these lads for 6 months. He's had it interrupted. It wouldn't surprise me if next season, I really hope that he proves the doubters wrong, because there are a lot of doubters, and I don't think he's had the opportunity to prove them wrong, or to say that those doubters are right, because he just hasn't had the opportunity. Yes, he hasn't hit the ground running and scored goals, but not every signing does. And I think it's difficult because he's actually learning a new position while he's doing this, while he's moved countries and stuff like that as well. Chris's ratings are always far too generous, says Daniel Bevan. If you think they're far too generous, then please do adjust -2 off every one of them if you want. It's totally fine, because these ratings do not matter. Your rating is spot on, says MRB. There we go. Oh, we got Manchester City fans coming in because we can't get the points record. Fair enough, but I tell you what, you can't get the Premier League trophy this season, because we're getting that on the 22nd against Chelsea. Thank you very much, Mr. 3 in a row. Didn't happen, did it? Anyway, 49 undefeated. I don't know what that means. Loads of shouts for Mbappe 2020. There's just loads of comments coming in here. This is mental. Feel like we don't have a player willing to hit it from outside the box, or a player on the bench that can score goals regularly, says Will Clark. Certainly we do. This guy is one of those guys, and he didn't really get that opportunity. It's like, you could see him almost winding up quite often, Ox, couldn't you? To just hopefully, just try and get one off, but he wasn't able to, unfortunately. Oh my God, we've got loads of City fans in. You'd think, the way that these City fans are going on here, that this might be their biggest win of the season. And fair play. Join the Arsenal fans at the Watford game. If us losing a game and we've won the league makes you feel better, sound. Let's hope it's exactly the same next season as well. Listen, if you are enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the watch-alongs and everything that we do here at Red Men TV, then please do drop a like on the video. Paul will be live with the Red Mention Show. Your reactions, both from Twitter and YouTube, very, very shortly. But before I go, I just want to say we're planning something super special for when Liverpool win the league. So if you want to be involved in a big Liverpool have won the league video with us, then please do sign up to our mailing list. I'll put the link in the comments right now. /Ross will do that for me because he's such an absolute gent. And if you just go and click there and put your email address in, then we will email you and we'll get in touch about what you can do to be a part of this video. We're planning something really special. We want to showcase the real global appeal of Liverpool Football Club, the club with the Scouse heartbeat, but fans from all over the world making it real, making it what it is, and making us as good as we are as a fan base, which is the best in the world. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the Red Men TV. Thank you for supporting the show, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget though, go and click the link to go and watch Paul's show, which will be coming up very shortly. Ta-ra.